Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Rawa Berhi, the VP of Operations for Bitrix Global and the host of our video AMA today. We're joined today by Sebastien Borget, and the co-founder and COO of the Sandbox. I'm extremely excited to speak with Sebastien today. If you don't know, the Sand project and Sand token has been getting a ton of buzz lately. So really glad to have you on our AMA today. Thank you so much, and for choosing Bitrix Global as a partner.
Of course. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you. And thanks for Raul. I'm sure we'll have a great conversation today. A lot of questions from the community about the Sandbox and Sand tokens. So really hyped to answer all of them today.
Great. We've gone ahead and sourced a few questions from the Bitrix Global and greater crypto community regarding Sand's listing. So if it's all right by you, Sebastien, we can go ahead and jump right into it.
Let's dive into it. Yes.
Great. So what's Sand's origin story? Can you describe it briefly in 3 to 5 sentences and talk about the greater mission and vision of Sand?
Yeah, of course. So, well, Sand is the main utility token behind the Sandbox platform. So Sand is served as a medium of exchange as well as a governance token and a staking token in our gaming virtual world, where players can create their own 3D assets and game experience, tokenize them as non-fungible token, NFTs, and sell them, monetize them using Sand token. Our background is we've been essentially in the gaming industry for close to 10 years now. Sandbox started as a mobile game on iOS and Android, had a huge success with more than 40 million downloads, and we've been building a new version of that game, this time on 3D, multiplayer, multi-platform, starting with PC and Mac, and using blockchain technology. We spent the last 3 years building that game. We've had over 60 partners joining us that I'm sure we'll talk about afterwards, and a fantastic community of creators and artists already part of the Sandbox project, building with us the virtual world together.
Great. So I know you briefly mentioned a use case that the Sand token has. Can you expand on that a little bit more and talk about the unique value that the token brings into your ecosystem?
Yes, certainly. So as I mentioned, Sandbox is a virtual world where users, creators, players can truly own their content through a non-fungible token. This is a user-generated content world, so we provide tools for anyone to create their own game asset with our NFT maker called VoxEdit. It's a 3D editor that's free. We also offer a marketplace where they can tokenize those assets, allowing them to upload them, put them for sale, and other users to purchase them. We also have a no-code game maker where users can make game experience without any programming knowledge required to create games with those NFTs. And because it's a virtual world, we also have a map that consists of 464 lands in total, each land being sort of like a digital parcel, an NFT that you can own to publish those game experiences. So as we've started last year pre-selling part of that land, so we sold for 40% of the total map for more than $2.5 million as of today, or 20 million Sand. Sand became the main way to purchase the land and get access to the metaverse and true ownership, building your games, owning your lands to monetize your games in the future. Sand also is a way, as I mentioned, to participate in the governance of the platform. So we'll be introducing a DAO for our foundation that is supporting creators and artists in the future this year. And Sand is also a way to stake and earn rewards in our ecosystem. And we've already launched several liquidity mining programs where you could stake Sand to earn reward. For the past 4 months, you could earn 1.5 million Sand distributed among all the liquidity mining, liquidity providers. Recently, we've launched several programs where, depending on which pairs you were staking, you could actually earn exclusive NFTs as well in collaboration with other blockchain games and platform, and also rewarding all the participants into our ecosystem with great collectible NFTs.
Great. So, Sebastien, you had mentioned that users can build on the platform without having to code themselves. So, can you talk a little bit more about that programmable technology and just the greater security developed by your team that ensures the platform is secure?
Yes, so well, it's essentially a game maker built with Unity that allows just anyone, you, me. We have fantastic stories from creators around the world that have never nothing to do with creating game, that because of the COVID last year moved into it and have been really successful at making games and monetizing them through winning at some of our competitions. Those games, essentially, you drag and drop the different asset NFTs. Those NFTs come to life as they have behaviors. So a character can be an enemy, can be a helper, it can write dialogues to create stories. And immediately, within a few clicks, you create a game experience. So this is just one example. We've also released an open source, the whole set of code around our user-generated content marketplace on GitHub, where you could see the source code on how to create a user-generated content NFT marketplace, how to create user-generated content NFT with our source code on GitHub as well. We've been contributing to the ERC 1155 on Ethereum standards for NFT, and a new standard that is more efficient than the traditional ERC 721. So these are just a few things that we've been doing in the space in terms of smart contract and tools for the ecosystem. However, we are not a chain, we're not a protocol, we are really a dApp or a platform that's built on top of them and enable users to interact with NFTs, make their NFTs with the abstraction of the technical complexity behind.
Great, thank you for clarifying that. So there seems to be a lot of parallels between Sandbox and Decentraland. So you could buy, land, you can get in-game assets like characters, objects, etc. Can you talk a little bit about what differentiates Sand from Decentraland?
Absolutely. So there's several open decentralized virtual worlds out there: Decentraland, CryptoVoxel, Somnium Space. Each one of them have their own specificities. In Sandbox, I would say the main specificity is really around our focus around three things, I would say. The first one is our focus on gaming because of the background of the team. We have now over 100 people in the Sandbox team, each one of them with more than 10 years of experience in the video game industry. So we've built games that attracted millions of players and that have been out and updated for several years. And we've applied all that knowledge and know-how into building this new Sandbox version of Sandbox that's 3D, multiplayer, and multi-platform. The second main difference is also our content-first approach. So we built the tools to create games, but we didn't just open those tools right away to the public. We are doing it progressively via several beta version releases, and we're supporting creators by enabling and showcasing high-quality content first. Our foundation is supporting 18 projects from various teams and studios around the world who are creating high-quality game experience, not just mini games. We have hundreds of artists that have been selected before they could enter our creator fund, and they are uploading on our marketplace high-quality asset that game creators will want to use in the future. So that when you arrive in Sandbox Virtual World as a player or the new creator, you will not just start with a blank page, but you'll have access to many assets, you'll have access to many templates of game and many games examples you can play. The third main difference, I would say, is our focus. We're working with main IPs and brands. So we've brought major IPs like The Smurf, Care Bears, Shaun the Sheep, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Atari, and there's many other big partners as well in the ecosystem. We have more than 60 partners. We'll have major IPs soon to announce again. All those IPs and content, for the first time, they have NFTs, and those NFTs we created with them can be used by anyone. were sold during our land pre-sale or on our marketplace and can be used with a game maker to create your own game experience on Sandbox platform. So those are essentially the three main differences. We've been collaborating as well and working toward growing the space together. So we are not seeing ourselves as competitor. We are all layers of a concept called the metaverse. We are all contributing to raise awareness about what is the metaverse, what are the benefits of non-fungible tokens. I'm myself the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance, which is a non-profit organization with over 169 members, including several other virtual worlds and actors of the metaverse. And I'm really excited that there's a lot of different options for users to come to play around. They can socialize in one, they can play games in another, etc. It's all great.
Great. Thank you for clearly going over the differentiation of Sandbox as well as Decentraland. I definitely agree with you that the space is so big and evolving that there's lots of opportunities for collaboration that results in like a win-win for everyone in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So staking is growing in popularity in the blockchain space. Can you expand about what Sand's staking plan is and how that directly impacts the ecosystem?
Absolutely. Well, I think staking is a very powerful mechanic that we're going in Sandbox. You're going to see more and more being used for various purposes. Last year, staking has been made popular via DeFi, and this year we're seeing more and more DeFi gaming projects. That's one of the first use you're going to see in Sandbox. Basically, you can stake Sand token or like Sand and ETH on Uniswap or Sand and other pairs. And by contributing to the liquidity pool on those decentralized exchange, you receive either Sand as reward or exclusive NFTs that you could only get by staking into those. That's just the first step. But we think staking can just bring much more value than just earning rewards. Staking is a way for users to show their commitment, to show they are engaged and ready to trust on a longer term project and its tokens. So by staking in Sandbox, you'll be able also to participate in the governance of our virtual world, voting on key decisions that will define, such as the priorities on our roadmap, such as how the foundation that support the creators and games should be managed and which project it could support, several other parameters. Also, we think that staking could be a key to something called play to earn as a business model. And rather than paying to enter a game as a premium game or paying to acquire content, you could also just stake to get several incentives by participating into an event or season in our game. And it's just all you need. After you finish playing, you can get back your stake plus any of the reward that you've been receiving as you participated into that event in the game. So expect to hear more from us on that topic if you follow the Sandbox on the different social media channels like Twitter or Telegram or Medium. We also have weekly live streams where you can see the community, ourselves answering questions of the community, playing around with the different tools, showcasing the content they made, and by explaining all those different mechanics like staking.
Great. I'm super excited to learn more about the play to earn concept. So what is Sandbox's strategy for building a strong community? What is the ideal relationship that the builders on your team would have in the community for the long-term development of Sand?
Well, we've spent more than 3 years already in the space. We've been one of the true pioneers in the space of NFTs. And one thing that we've done, and I think we've done pretty well, is putting user first in our community. We always put the user first, and we've been developing the platform and making sure that what we are building with NFTs and with Sand token is actually really empowering creators, empowering players. So as part of that, we've when we've run the various land sale, or when we introduced Sand, we've made sure that the community of members that supported us initially was also rewarded for being part of our community from the very early on days. We also have been rewarding free NFTs on regular basis to all our community members. We've run various activities to help them onboard and engage and learn more what is NFT. So typically, we've launched the largest learn and earn campaign on CoinMarketCap website, where there's been more than 40,000 users who could watch free short videos to learn about NFTs and their benefits, engage with Sandbox by just creating their own avatar on our platform and earning Sand and NFTs as well. So those are just some of the things. Also, we've been pushing various contests on weekly basis, creator contest for the 3D editor, game jams, like a month-long competition where anyone in the world could submit the game they made and earn Sand prize afterwards. Making sure that we are always as close as possible geographically from where the community is, which has been for us a successful strategy, since now Sandbox community top countries are actually Korea, China, Japan, and Italy. And we are excited to see the community keep growing on a daily basis as NFT, Sand, and the virtual world are growing in traction. Sorry. It's better.
Great. So to expand on what you just said, I know you said you have a few regions that are the largest that engage with your product currently. So I noticed, none of those that you mentioned are predominantly English speaking. So for people that might not come from predominantly English speaking regions, how do you plan on developing awareness of your product with them?
That's a great question. As I was alluding before, like our three largest point of presence, where we have local team member dedicated to local partnership and growing the community of game creator, artists, streamers, even game making academies, game schools have been Korea, China, and Japan. So those are some of the reasons why, and the Sandbox is completely localized for all those territories. So that's been one of the reasons of our success in being close to the community, localizing all the content, having a real person that's engaged with a project that makes meaningful partnership for our ecosystem and develop the presence of our platform or virtual gaming virtual world in those territories. And I just mentioned those, but we are starting to see also significant growth in other territories like Indonesia, Russia, and Spain. So we now, by the way, just opened our 2021 ambassador program. We have a local community manager managing the different Discord and Telegram group, translating all the resources already available to facilitate onboarding to new users about Sandbox and NFTs and creating games. We have now streamers streaming in Italian, Spanish, French, English, Korean, Japanese on how to create your own NFTs using the Sandbox voxel editor, or how to participate into our game jams. So those are just of the things that make you feel like we really want to enable anyone to make their own NFTs and participate into the growth of the metaverse wherever they are without any barrier of language.
Great, thank you. So DeFi is this, important topic and buzzword currently in the crypto space. Do you mind sharing your opinions on DeFi and how Sandbox it plans on interacting with that sector?
Sure. So it's been really exciting. I think we could say in 2020 has been essentially the year of DeFi, And of course, gaming project, NFT project have started to also benefit from that attention growth, specifically, as I mentioned, by offering a first taste of what could be a DeFi gaming experience by essentially staking tokens to earn NFTs, which in turn can help the gameplay or could be valuable to be traded or resold on NFT marketplaces. So this is, as I was mentioning, just one of the first steps that you could put into DeFi. We are already working into more complex mechanics that will reward based on the different level of engagement and all the and how you're going to manage various liquidity pools, or just to keep things simple, if you're going to, you can choose how you participate in DeFi. You can choose by just taking a token, or you can do much more engaging things, which require staking again, but not only, could also require being actively participating with our product and app, such as in Sandbox, by completing a 15 days long season where every day there are new levels, new games being unveiled on the map. This is essentially the pre-season 0 event that we announced last December, and that we're aiming to launch in beta for the first time for the public in beta for the first time to try early Q1 this year.
Great. Excited for that as well. I know you mentioned a few items on the roadmap that users can anticipate that are super exciting. For you personally, Sebastien, what item that's approaching on the roadmap are you most excited about?
That's definitely the launch of the pre-season 0, where we'll be opening the gate in the first beta to players to enjoy all the content that our team has made, as well as some of the games supported by our Game Maker, our foundation and the Game Maker Fund. So really getting a first taste of what is play to earn, earning NFTs, earning Sand token through active gameplay. I think that's quite exciting. I'm also really excited about finally opening to artists, to any artist, our marketplace. We've been last year we've been curating which artists, so as to make sure that we set a certain standard in terms of the quality level and expectation on our platform. Starting 2021, we'll be progressively opening the door to allow just anyone making its own NFT and start selling it directly in Sandbox.
Great. Well, those are all the questions that we've sourced from the community, Sebastien. Is there any other topic you would like to discuss that might be of interest to users listening to this AMA?
Well, I think, and I hope that you had a chance to just look at a teaser video of Sandbox, see if you like playing that game, and from there, come to our community, start chatting with our various ambassadors and community members. They are here to help in so many languages. They can explain you what are NFTs, can explain you how to begin creating amazing stuff in Sandbox, how you can earn Sand token by participating in some of our contests, and soon by owning land, so owning a piece of the metaverse. I can actually enable you to monetize and earn revenue as well. So those are just some of the few fun things, and I think essentially we are just getting started. I know 3 years might sound a lot, but I think our long-term vision is around 10 years. At the end, trying to disrupt what Minecraft, what Roblox have, and those games that have been existing for close to 15 years now. So really, we think that we can achieve great things together. And we're excited to have Bitrex as one of our partners on that road, and we hope to see you join our community as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sebastien, on this great AMA. We've learned a lot about the Sandbox, and it's always great to speak with token teams and entrepreneurs that are driving the global crypto community forward. For our listeners that are tuning in, to learn more about the Sandbox, please go to www.sandbox.game/en. Thank you so much again, Sebastien.
Thank you, Robo, and thank you everyone for listening today. And we hope to see you in the metaverse soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.